Okay guys, thanks for joining me. I haven't done a time video for a bit, so been meaning to do this one for a while. So I've finally got a chance today, so apologies to start off. I've been up all nights and I'm absolutely knackered, but we'll do this. So, SF blend perch. This was my go-to pattern for a long time. When I first started tying, and I tied this pattern and changed it slightly just because I can't get one of the materials anymore. So it's now become like this now instead. So here's replicas of it there. Look, one with a slightly darker belly on it, like a shoaler roach, shoaler perch. Look. So yeah, it's exclusively tied with SF blend, although you could change it and tie it with anything, jumbo braid, whatever, anything you like. I prefer SF blend. It's a bit finer than all the other ones that you can get. It's not got quite as much volume to it. I much prefer it. Plus it's got the obviously got your flash blended in, and it just looks good. It's an awesome material. So what we're going to do is we're going to tie it. We're going to get that profile as we're tying it. Cast miles. There's no weight. There's no weight there. There's not really much air resistance, and it sheds water on the back cast, so no problem. Super on a 9 weight. So what have we got? We've got some 8mm pearl mylar. I'll just cut a piece here with some with scissors. Obviously don't use your best scissors because you've got to go through all the string inside. You don't want to go blunting your best scissors on that crap. I'll just take that out. I'll just put that to one side. Hook we're using 4/0, 4/0, 5/0, 6/0, whichever you prefer. 4/0, 5/0, ideal. Sakuma Manta 540, 545 if you just want a little bit extra weight just to drag it down that little bit faster. We're going to be tying with medium uni mono, and then we have in colours we have Steve Farrar blend in wild olive, peacock, midnight blitz, grey, white, eyes, any eyes you want, any eyes your choice. 10mm ideal, 10 or 12, entirely up to you. So if you've seen any of the other videos that I did, I'm afraid it'll be quite a long video. I don't have any fancy editing, I'll just do it on my phone, but you should be able to, if you've never tied before using these materials, pick them up and tie a fly that'll fish just like these do, and have great success with it, hopefully. So when we start, so we'll do a pearl mylar. I'll just kind of just rough one end up a little bit, so we'll just slide on the hook. You don't have to put this in, but it just, these are good in, just gives you that little bit when it's in the water. You can just pick it out when they're wet. Bit awkward to see when it's on there, but once it's in the water, you can just pick it out. Whether it makes a difference or not, no idea. It's just, I don't really see anyone else doing it. I just put it in because it just adds that little bit of extra. So I'm going to whip on just at the back of the eye, just slide that mylar out of the way, come over the top with that, lock it in. Trim off the tag. Subglue, predator tie's best friend. Get some of them thread wraps. And come back roughly 10mm away from the eye. And if you just slide that mylar forwards and do one loose wrap, and you can just pull it and it'll lock down every time. Just tie that loose ends down. Right, so we're roughly 10mm back. So we'll start with the lightest green in the middle, so that's wild olive. So, if you've never used SF blend before, it comes loose in the pack, it's not hanked up like some of the others. So you just got to take caution when you pull it out, so if you try but taking that, you can see it all comes out. So the easiest thing to do, just pinch it midway down the packet and then just pull some out under tension, and then the rest will remain in there, and you've got what you need there in your fingers. So what you'll find is quite often when you pull it out, you'll align the fibres so you've got a taper in it anyway, but just pull the centre out. And if you're not sure what I'm on about with creating a taper when it's in your fingers, what you do is you pull a few centre fibres out there, which pulls the centres in from this side, so then you get a taper on this side where you've pulled it out, and then you've got a taper on this side where your centre fibres have gone in. So if we reverse it round now, we'll tape a nice taper there in the materials, and we can just tie in roughly halfway along that material, just a loose wrap, then lock it in with a couple of turns. This tag end, we can just fold this back, use our thumb, roll it round, and that'll just displace the fibres. So they're all on the top half of the hook there. You can see there with, remove that, you can see the mylar. So that's on the top. So we can just tighten that down and just come forward a little fraction. Right. So the belly now. So we'll go for green on top, and we'll go grey and white underneath. So we'll take a similar pinch of grey. Same again, just grab the packet, pinch it and pull. Again, just work a taper into that material. And all we do is we stagger every tie in and make everyone slightly shorter. So there's no, if there is any trimming at the end, it's just for the wispy bits. It's no cutting a profile. There's no heavy scissor work. It's all done when we're tying. So we'll just one loose wrap, pull that in, a couple of turns. Just feather that back with your fingers either side of the hook, and it'll just pull back. That'll just lock into. If you give it a twist, it'll kind of just part blend with the olive that's in there. And then what's in front, and just split that 50%, half. One half left, one half right, around the thread. Pinch it at the front there, and pull them back. We can lock this one down fully as well. This one, these two tying points there, they're creating the centre of the fly, the tail. They're not adding anything to the profile up the front there. They're just basically just to get our length. So you can just tie them down. You can just add a blob of glue just to lock everything down, tighten everything up, make it solid. These flies, synthetic flies like this, your hook will blunt, or you'll lose the fly before the fibres pull out and get torn to bits. They last a long time. You can catch multiple pike on these flies, and they're still good. So now we've built that with the lightest green, so what we'll start, we'll build the back up and get darker. Because naturally every fish has a darker back than a belly. So what would happen now if we tied this in the same length? We'd just end up with a fly that's really square on the end. It would catch. I'm not saying it wouldn't catch, but it doesn't look as appealing to the eye. So what we'll do is we'll chop a couple of inch off there, off this end, and then you get a square end. So what we've got to do there is we've got to re-taper it. So pull them centre fibres out, give it a bit of a twist in your fingers, and then just straighten them ones out when you've moved everything. Turn it around your hand. You can see there that now the end of this fibre is shorter than this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to build that taper into that fly. So one loose wrap there, couple lock it down. Right, that's that locked in, tightened in. You can see there every time point's going to get progressively shorter, a bit of material, and that's going to build this profile into it. So we'll get the grey again, we'll go add another tie under the belly. Same again, we've got to shorten this one now because we're going forwards, so we want that taper. So I'm going to take the same amount off that one as we did off the off this one here. Taper the ends. Turn it around your hand. If it's easier, you can turn your vice upside down, work that way, but I've tied a lot of these and I just find it easier and quicker just to tie it all the same direction and work underneath the hook by just feathering the materials back. So I can tie that down. I'll take the olive and push that back. Roll it with your fingers, and that'll just displace the fibres again. The grey, you can just split that around the thread, come underneath. Right, this tie down is a more critical one. If we tie this down here and come over the top like that, what we'll end up doing is squashing all this here. We're not going to end up with any volume at the front. So what we want to do is, instead of tying on top of, we're going to come in front of. If you've ever tied a bucktail and reverse tie that, so it's hollow tied, you build that little thread down there. You just tie up to it, and it holds the materials back. Just give it a little bit of glue. Drop in there, makes everything that it's solid. You can see now, instead of being a very sharp, pointy end nose of the fly, that there is going to give us a little bit of volume for the next tie, and it's going to push it up. It's going to create that profile at the front, that bulk. And because we've splayed it round, it's also giving us bulk out that way as well, and it's going to taper down finer at the back. So now what we need, the next darker colour, is peacock. Nice dark green. It's got a few black strands in it, and then it's got blue flash through it, like blue angel hair. Just adds a nice darker back to it. We're gonna have to shorten that again. So if we didn't shorten that, then obviously it would look the same as the last one. Take a little bit more off that to taper that. And then roll it between your fingers, turn it over, line it in here. You can see there that we've got the first tie in, second, third. So we're getting that willow leaf profile to it. Loose wrap, just hold it down, a couple of securing wraps in there. Right. The belly, what we'll do now is we'll change from grey. We'll lighten it up because we're getting towards the nose now, so we just want a lighter belly. Pinch of white. Again, we'll have to shorten that, so I'll take a good chunk of that off. Taper that. Coming underneath. Just feather that back into the other materials. Loose wrap. And tie it down tight. Same again. We'll get a thumb, push this back, give it a bit of a roll, and just feed it back with the fingers into that little bit of material. Same as done before, I'll just split this white, come round the thread. And then again, in front of that material, just build it up on the nose. You see there, we've got this nice shape to it here. Same again, we'll just secure that with some super glue. Don't need an awful lot. And then a couple of wraps onto that glue just to make everything solid. Now just to finish the darkening the back off, some Midnight Blitz. Nice colour. Again, this has just got Blue Angel hair, but now because we're on the last time point, we can take an even smaller amount of this, and rather than just chopping it and wasting it, all we'll do is just fold it in half, cut it in halfway there, put the two halves together, and then just taper that. This doesn't need to be overly long. We're just adding a little black there into the back of it. Again, just hold that onto the other loose thread wrap. Tighten it down. This Unimono is good. You can put some tension on it. It's obviously being nylon. It's stretchy, so it doesn't snap too easily. And we'll just put one more on the belly. We'll do the same as we did with the Midnight Blitz. We'll take a small amount. Get rid of it, realign it, and we'll chop it in half. Taper it. Come in underneath. I'll turn the vice over if you prefer to do it that way. Loose wrap, pull it in tight into, just lock it in behind the eye of the hook. Take that Midnight Blitz, just pull that up the top, spread the white around your thread, and feed it underneath, and brush it into with your fingers. And then this last one, we can just secure it onto the nose. We're not really tying it down and altering the profile much. We'll just put a couple of wraps in there that will drop off there. There we go. That's now the nylon's holding that in. It's down against the eye of the hook. It's not messy, it's not clogged anything up. We can just put a little blob of glue into that nose area, just fully secure everything in. You can see there that we've got that profile shape already, and then up to you whether you whip finish, finger whip finish, or use a whip finishing tool. Put 3 or 4 wraps around, just tying that in. And that's it tied. We just need to nick that off there. Right. Just bear with me 1 minute, I'll just move that out of the way. The vice out of the way. And I'll just pet brush. I'll just bear with me 1 second. Right. Just use a board. Obviously don't do it on the wife's best on the wife's dining room tables, you'll get a bollocking. Right. Best thing to do, it's easier on your knee, but obviously I'll just do it on here. Just brush it along the sides, on the top, down the other side, flip underneath. It's easy on your knee. What you can do is you can just keep brushing as you roll it over, and that's going to blend all those colours in, so you're not going to see any colour changes as being blocky or instant. They're just going to nicely blend through like it's just from one colour straight into the next. So because we've brushed it, we've kind of put volume in, so it's just easy just to kind of just pull all them fibres back into line instead of them being really wild. Yeah, there we go. You can see there we've got the profile, we've got a nice shape up front, we've got bulk there, tapering off to a nice tail, and we've got a nice natural profile to it. So now, to add some stripes, the easiest thing to do is put it on a board. Sorry this camera angle's a bit crap, but press it down onto it, get your Sharpie, and then just blot it in between your fingers. Press all the fibres onto the table, up to the next one. Again, this one I always add, if you look at a natural perch, they've always got like a bit of a Y shape on one or two stripes. I always add that one in there. Don't know why, I just prefer to add more stripes in. Flip it over, and because you've dabbed it and pressed down, poked it in, you should see on the other side where the black lines were, so you can just come along them and make it nice and bold, and then that black will just push into the fibres in between as well, so when it's in the water you'll be able to see the black lines through it. That's the black lines done. And of course, being the predator angles we are, being a perch pattern, we love a bit of red, don't we? You can put this in, you can leave it out, it's entirely up to you, but you can just add a little bit of a red throat onto it there. There we go. Now, I ain't going to mix any epoxy up because obviously I'll just add time, but normally I just mix some 5-minute epoxy up and stick a couple of eyes on. I'll grab one here that's being done. So let's put this camera back up. That one's got some eyes on already, so all I do is just grab some bug bond and just poke a little bit in, kind of just push it in between the eyes, just make a little, that head just slightly, a little solid spot in between the eyes, just holds all the fibres aligned and everything. Same again underneath. Just force that a little bit of UV into it. If it sits on top, you can just grab your materials and just pull it down there, and it'll almost like it's sucking in and dropping in between it. Pulls it down into the rest of the materials, rest of the fibres, and then you can just hit that with your laser, with your UV cure pen, torch, whichever you use. And there you have it. That there is an absolute killer pattern for pike. A lot of people prefer roach, and a roach would be the first one I'd put on. But I've probably caught more on this perch pattern than all the roach patterns put together that I've got in my box. So I've got ultimate confidence in that fly. So get some materials, follow this video. Hopefully it's easy enough to follow it. I describe everything, and you can just tie your own, have some fun with it. Go out and catch some pike. Hope you get a PB and a good bend in your rod. And I'll see you again at some point. I'll probably do another video. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Cheers. Bye.